The clock on the wall chimed midnight, each dry tick echoing straight into my eardrums. I sat on the sofa, scrolling through my phone, my eyes glued to a picture just sent from an unknown number. In the photo, Alex Ngu's perfect profile was clearly visible. His tie was slightly loosened, and most importantly, a woman's hand with bright red painted nails rested casually on his shoulder. Accompanying the photo was a provocative message. Vivian, red wine spilled on Alex's shirt. I'm helping him clean it, please don't be angry. I sneered, angry? I'm too busy to be angry. 3 years as Mrs. Ngu, I'd received over 10 of these trashy messages, but this time was different. My patience had officially run out. This title of CEO's wife, whoever wants it can have it. I'm sick of it. The familiar roar of Alex's Rolls-Royce echoed from the driveway. The heavy villa door opened. Alex Ngu stepped in, bringing with him the cold of the late night and the pungent scent of unfamiliar perfume. This scent wasn't his, nor was it mine. I wear sandalwood perfume, calm and elegant, not cheap and sharp like that. Alex Ngu froze when he saw me sitting quietly in the dark. His sword-like brows furrowed slightly. He reached up to loosen his tie, the very one from the picture. Then, his voice, low and hoarse, tinged with fatigue, said, "Vivian, why aren't you asleep yet? I told you not to wait for me." I didn't stand up to take his coat as usual, nor did I mix him a hangover drink. I simply switched on the light. The blinding white light made Alex Ngu squint. I picked up a pre-written A4 paper and slammed it onto the marble coffee table with a sharp clack. The sound wasn't loud, but it was enough to tear apart the fake silence between us. "Sign it," I said curtly, without breathing another word. Alex Ngu glanced at the paper. The bold, size 24 title divorce agreement hit him straight in the eyes. His calm face instantly froze, a layer of cold frost appearing in his gaze. He strode over, not bothering to read the contents, picked up the paper, crumpled it into a ball, and threw it directly into the trash bin. "Vivian Zhao, what kind of trouble are you stirring up again? Staying awake late at night to put on a show for someone? I'm very tired today, don't act like a child." I watched his decisive actions, feeling no ripple in my heart, only amusement. Did he think I was whining to demand a treat, or acting foolishly jealous so he would coax me? "Sorry, Mr. Ngu, your brain must have been soaking in cleaning solution for too long, shrinking it perhaps." I bent down under the table and pulled out a thick stack of papers. Calmly, I pulled out another identical sheet and placed it back on the table. "If the trash can is full, you can just throw them on the floor. I've printed 100 copies. If your hands get tired from tearing, just tell me, and I'll print more for you." Alex Ngu was stunned. This time, he couldn't maintain his usual arrogant composure. He stared at the thick stack of papers as if seeing a monster, then looked straight at me, his gaze as sharp as a knife. "Are you serious? Do I look like I'm joking? Or do you think I'm so idle that I'd print this pile of junk to make paper airplanes?" I smirked, crossed my arms over my chest, and leaned back into the sofa, adopting a queen-like posture looking down at a subordinate. "Alex, 3 years is more than enough for this bland contractual marriage. You need a docile wife to save face for the Ngu family, and I need— Oh, never mind. Now, I don't need anything from you. I won't take a single penny of your assets. Keep them to support your foster sisters, sworn sisters, personal secretaries, or whatever." Alex Ngu scoffed, a chilling laugh that cut to the bone. He moved closer, placing both hands on the back of the sofa, trapping me between his chest and the seat. The faint scent of alcohol mixed with the strange perfume assailed my nose, making me feel nauseous. I grimaced and pushed his chest away. "Get away from me, you stink." Alex Ngu's body stiffened. He was a cleanliness freak, stage 5. Normally, if someone merely touched his sleeve, he'd want to throw the entire shirt away. Yet now, his wife, the only person he allowed to touch him, was complaining that he stank. Mr. Ngu's pride was severely wounded. He didn't retreat but leaned in closer, his dangerous voice whispering into my ear. "Vivian Zhao, you say your husband stinks? Or are you just bored at home, so you want to go out and find some young stud?" My eyes widened at him. What kind of twisted logic is this? I say you stink because you reek of another woman, and you deduce that I want to cheat? Just like those overbearing CEOs in novels. High business IQ, but an emotional EQ that's infinitely negative. "Alex Ngu, if your brain has issues, go get a CT scan. Don't stand here spitting nonsense. I pushed his hand away and stood up abruptly. The picture Emily Lamb sent me, don't tell me you don't know how she cleaned the wine all over your chest. Was she cleaning it with her tongue? At the mention of Emily Lamb's name, Alex Ngu's expression momentarily faltered, but he quickly regained his solemn demeanor. He straightened up, adjusted his collar, and his tone became condescending, as if granting a favor. So, it's jealousy. Vivian Zhao, how many times have I told you? Emily Lamb is just the daughter of my grandfather's savior. She just returned to the country, unfamiliar with our way of life. I was just being polite. As Mrs. Ngu, you should be more magnanimous. Don't quibble with an orphan girl. Orphan? I burst out laughing so hard that tears streamed down my face. An orphan wearing limited edition designer clothes, driving luxury cars, living in a lakeside villa, and even having the leisure to send pictures of other people's husbands to their wives in the middle of the night. Well, then I want to be that kind of orphan too. You know what high society calls this type of person, Mr. Ngu? A premium green tea bitch. If you like drinking tea, go ahead and drink it, but don't bring the tea dregs home. I'm allergic. Alex Ngu's face darkened. He was used to being praised and flattered. Even I used to play the gentle wife, agreeing to everything he said. Today, I suddenly transformed into a fiery shrew, quick-witted and sharp-tongued, leaving him no time to react. Enough, he roared, his voice echoing through the spacious living room. Vivian Zhao, I don't have time to argue with you. Consider the divorce matter unheard of. Go to bed obediently. Tomorrow I'll tell my assistant to transfer 10 million yuan to your account. Buy whatever you want to calm down. Money again? Every time you open your mouth, it's about money. Do you think I'm a card-swallowing machine? I endured before because I loved him. I thought my sincerity could melt this 1,000-year-old iceberg. But over the past 3 years, my sincerity only earned me his contempt and indifference. Now, I'm awake. I don't need your money. I'm not broke. I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, and showed him the account balance screen. The long string of numbers made Alex Ngu squint. Look closely. This is this month's dividend from my family's corporation. Your 10 million yuan can buy how many of my Himalayan bags? Do you think I'm Cinderella, whom you rescued from a slum? I am Vivian Zhao, the sole heiress of the Zhao family in Beijing. I've tolerated you for 3 years because I was brainwashed, not because I was poor. Alex Ngu stared blankly at me, as if seeing his wife, with whom he had shared a bed, for the very first time. I had always hidden my identity, saying I came from an ordinary family so he wouldn't feel pressure about our social statuses. Who knew he would take that as a weakness to bestow pity upon me? You, Alex Ngu stammered, about to say something, but I cut him off. No more talking. The divorce papers are there, the pen is there. If you sign, we settle amicably. If you don't, we go to court. My lawyer, by the way, is eager to battle the Ngu Corporation's legal team. Oh, I forgot. You sleep on the sofa tonight or in the guest room. I've changed the master bedroom lock to a fingerprint scanner. Your fingerprint, I've deleted it. Goodbye. With that, I turned my back and walked straight up the stairs. My red silk nightgown billowed like a triumphant flag, leaving Alex Ngu rooted to the spot. His face shifted from stunned to pale, then turned black like the bottom of a pot. Just as I reached the third step, I suddenly heard Alex Ngu roar from behind me. Vivian Zhao, you dared to delete my fingerprint. Stop right there. I didn't bother to turn around, merely raised my hand and waved. If you're brave enough, break down the door. But I'll warn you, that door is made of imported German bulletproof alloy. If you ram your head into it, be careful of a concussion, my dear husband. The bedroom door slammed shut behind me. I leaned against it, letting out a long sigh. My heart pounded in my chest, not from fear, but from pure exhilaration. The feeling of being true to myself, of directly cursing out my scumbag husband, was incredibly satisfying. I climbed onto the soft bed, pulled the covers over my head. My phone vibrated furiously. It was a message from Emily Lamb. What now? Vivian, Alex isn't replying to my messages. Is he asleep? Please don't blame him, it was an accident. I snickered, my fingers flying across the keyboard to reply with a single, sharp sentence, then blocked her decisively. He's busy signing the divorce papers to clear the way for your arrival. Try to hold on tight. Don't let me come back and stomp all over your green tea nest. After sending it, I tossed my phone aside and fell into a deep, peaceful sleep. The next morning, I was woken by the chirping birds outside in the garden. I stretched, feeling incredibly refreshed, having slept better than ever before. Without Alex Ngu beside me, this 2-meter-wide bed was finally all mine. I could roll around freely without fear of bumping into a moving iceberg. As I descended the stairs, my eyes fell upon Alex Ngu sitting on the living room sofa. His suit from yesterday was wrinkled, his tie carelessly tossed on the coffee table. The dark circles under his eyes were as deep as a panda's, and the ashtray beside him was overflowing with cigarette butts. It seemed Mr. Ngu had a rough night on that sofa. Seeing me come down, Alex Ngu immediately looked up, his eyes bloodshot, fixated on me as if he wanted to devour me whole. He stood up abruptly, but because he'd slept in an awkward position all night, his back cracked. His face twisted in pain for a moment, but he quickly tried to maintain his solemn demeanor. "Vivian Zhao, you're quite something," he said, his voice hoarse and reeking of smoke. "You dared to lock me out all night." I calmly walked past him, heading straight into the dining room and pulling out a chair. "I warned you, the door is bulletproof. If you didn't listen, that's your problem. Aunt Zhang, please bring me a bowl of bird's nest congee and a hot cup of soy milk." Alex Ngu followed me into the dining room. He slammed his hand on the table, making the cup of milk in Aunt Zhang's hand slosh, nearly spilling. Aunt Zhang looked at us fearfully, then quietly retreated. "Don't change the subject. I haven't settled accounts with you for last night." Alex Ngu gritted his teeth, pulled a powerful black card from his jacket pocket, and threw it onto the table in front of me with a clatter. "Your supplementary card? I've frozen it. The 10 million yuan I promised yesterday is also cancelled. I want to see how you live without Alex Ngu's affection." I stared at the black card lying idly on the table, my lips twitching uncontrollably. This was truly the classic overbearing CEO script. "Girl, you dare to provoke me? I'll cut off your financial support until you kneel and beg." Unfortunately, Alex Ngu had used the wrong tactic. I gently stirred my bowl of bird's nest congee, my tone indifferent. "You think I need this card? I don't." Alex Ngu sneered, his smile laced with clear contempt. "Vivian Zhao, stop acting. The account balance you showed me last night, I've had people investigate it. Your Photoshop skills are decent, you might fool others, but you can't fool me. The Zhao family in Beijing is a prominent clan, but their eldest daughter is named Zhao Yu, not Vivian Zhao. Aren't you afraid of being sued for impersonation?" I nearly spat out the mouthful of congee in my mouth. "Zhao Yu, that was my childhood nickname, only my grandfather and parents used it. Alex Ngu, how did you investigate that you only found my nickname?" I nodded, admitting, "You're right." I was too lazy to explain. With his conceited mindset, even if I showed him my household registration, he'd claim I forged the seal. "So, what do you want now? Do you want me to kneel and beg you to unfreeze the card?" Alex Ngu saw my concession, a smug look spreading across his face. He adjusted his collar and raised his chin. "As long as you obediently apologize to Emily Lam, admit that you were blindly jealous last night, and then tear up those divorce papers, I'll pretend nothing happened. The card will be reactivated for you." "Apologize to Emily Lam?" I put down my spoon, the sound of it clinking against the porcelain bowl resonating sharply. "Why should I apologize to a third party?" "She's not a third party," Alex Ngu snapped. "This morning she called me, crying, saying she was afraid you misunderstood and wanted to come here to explain. Look how understanding she is, and you, narrow-minded and selfish." No sooner had he finished speaking than the doorbell rang outside. Aunt Zhang hurried to open the door, and a moment later led in a girl wearing a pristine white dress, long hair flowing, face made up in a seemingly natural style that actually took hours. In her hand, she carried a thermal food container. "Speak of the devil, Emily Lam is here." Speak of the devil, and she truly appears, I thought. Emily Lam entered, saw the tense atmosphere between Alex Ngu and me, and timidly stopped, her large, watery eyes blinking. "Alex Ngu, Vivian, am I disturbing you too? I personally cooked some hangover soup for Alex Ngu. I was worried you might have a headache from drinking too much last night." Alex Ngu's attitude did a complete 180-degree turn upon seeing his damsel in distress. From a furious beast, he became gentle as water. He quickly walked over and took the container from her hand. "Emily, you're sick. Why did you rush here? The staff could have handled this." Emily Lamb glanced at me timidly, then bowed her head, speaking softly. I was afraid Vivian would be angry, so I wanted to explain. "Vivian, the photo last night was really a misunderstanding. I only wanted to help Alex Ngu clean his shirt. I didn't mean anything else." I sat with my legs crossed, watching the play of affection before me, feeling my eyes itch. Such deep acting, it's a waste of talent if she doesn't go for an Oscar. "Clean his shirt?" I scoffed. "What kind of cleaning solution do you use that you have to put your hand on my husband's shoulder? Were you two planning to use body heat to dry his shirt?" Emily Lamb's face went pale upon hearing this, and tears began to fall like broken pearls. She clung to Alex Ngu's back, trembling. "Alex Ngu, she's saying such harsh things." Alex Ngu immediately bristled, defending his beauty. He glared at me. "Vivian Zhao, shut your mouth. Emily was kind enough to bring soup. If you don't thank her, fine, but don't mock her." I stood up and walked towards them. My 1.72-meter height plus my platform slippers meant I wasn't at a disadvantage. I snatched the soup container from Alex Ngu's hand, astonishing both of them. "Thank her? Fine, I'll thank her." With that, I opened the lid of the container. The strong aroma of herbal chicken soup wafted out. I walked straight to the smart trash can in the corner of the room and emptied the container. Splash. All of the green tea bitch's effort landed squarely in the household waste. Emily Lamb's eyes widened, unable to utter a word. "My house isn't short of soup, nor cooks. My dog even complains your soup is too oily. Take it back and drink it yourself." I threw the empty container onto the floor with a jarring clatter. Alex Ngu's face turned purple with rage. He raised his hand, intending to slap me, but his hand stopped midair when he met my cold, fearless gaze. "Hit me," I challenged, raising my chin. "If you dare to land that slap, I guarantee Ngu Corporation's stock will lose half its value by tomorrow." Alex Ngu froze. It wasn't that he feared my threat, but that he had never seen me look so terrifying. The gentle wife of the past 3 years was dead. Standing before him now was a completely different Vivian Zhao. He lowered his hand, clenching it into a fist, veins protruding on the back of his hand. "Good, very good. You scorn my affection, scorn my home. Then get out of here immediately. Don't take anything I bought for you." "Don't worry, I wouldn't touch your things." I turned and went upstairs, only taking 10 minutes to change into a custom-designed outfit from the latest Chanel collection, donning large sunglasses that covered half my face. I didn't carry a suitcase, only a handbag containing my ID and phone. When I came downstairs, Alex Ngu and Emily Lamb were still standing there. Seeing me leave empty-handed, Alex Ngu sneered. "No luggage? Are you planning to take a stroll and then come crawling back tonight to apologize?" I didn't even glance at him, walking straight to the main door. As I opened it, a fleet of gleaming black Mercedes G63s had already parked neatly in front of the villa. A dozen tall, burly bodyguards in black suits stepped out, forming 2 orderly rows. A handsome young man, impeccably dressed in a suit, emerged from the lead car. His eyes lit up when he saw me, and he quickly rushed over, bowing 90 degrees, his voice resonating with respect. "Eldest miss, you've finally decided to come home. Grandpa and Grandma have been worried sick about you." I took off my sunglasses, smiled, and ruffled my cousin Kevin Zhao's hair. "You're right on time. Let's go. I don't want to stay in this filthy place for another second." Alex Ngu and Emily Lamb stood frozen at the door, mouths agape as if they'd swallowed an egg. Alex Ngu looked at the luxury cars, then at the young man who had just called me eldest miss. He looked familiar. It was Kevin Zhao, the third-generation heir of the Zhao Corporation, a figure Alex Ngu had tried to meet countless times for business collaborations, only to be rejected. Kevin Zhao now glanced at Alex Ngu, his gaze sharp, filled with contempt and hostility. "Mr. Ngu, thank you for taking special care of my cousin for the past 3 years. My family, the Zhaos, will settle this debt with you slowly." With that, he opened the car door for me. I stepped in without looking back. The engine roared, and the convoy sped away, leaving a cloud of dust that blew straight into the faces of the adulterous couple standing alone in the driveway. In the rearview mirror, I saw Alex Ngu stumble as if about to fall, his face pale, drained of all color. Sitting comfortably in the limited edition Maybach, I gently swirled the red wine in my hand, gazing at the bustling traffic outside through the one-way window. Kevin Zhao, sitting beside me, was shelling chestnuts and chattering nonstop. Sister, honestly, your taste in men is really questionable. That Ngu guy, besides his handsome face, is completely hollow inside, with an EQ that's infinitely negative. Haven't you felt suffocated living in that tiny villa for the past 3 years? Just looking at it makes my chest ache. I took a sip of wine, its sharp taste spreading lightly across my tongue. Just experiencing life. Grandpa said I just needed to cultivate my character and learn patience. Consider the past 3 years as my time in seclusion. Now I've returned to society. Seclusion, more like turning into a ninja turtle? Kevin Zhao pouted, popping a chestnut into his mouth and chewing noisily. Oh, by the way, sister, just now I saw that Ngu guy's face. It was priceless. When I called you eldest miss, his eyes almost popped out. He must be having a serious existential crisis. I smiled faintly. An existential crisis is putting it mildly. With Alex Ngu's suspicious, cow-like personality, he's probably having his assistants turn the city upside down right now to investigate my background. Kevin Zhao's phone suddenly rang. He glanced at the screen, then grinned cunningly, putting it on speaker. Hello, Mr. Zhao, this is Assistant Chen from Zhao Corporation. Get lost, Kevin Zhao replied with a single word and promptly hung up. I gave him a thumbs up. This kid really has been well trained by me. Meanwhile, at the Ngu family villa, the atmosphere in the living room was as cold as an ice cellar. Alex Ngu sat on the sofa, holding a burning cigarette, his eyes black, staring blankly into space. Emily Lamb still stood timidly in a corner, tears streaming down her face, but this time Alex Ngu was in no mood to comfort her. Alex Ngu, Vivian is gone, is it because of me? Should I go find her and explain? Shut up, Alex Ngu roared, making Emily Lamb jump, nearly collapsing onto the floor. He brutally stubbed out his cigarette in the ashtray, then stood up and paced back and forth. The image of the luxury car fleet and Kevin Zhao's respectful demeanor kept swirling in his mind. Who was Kevin Zhao? He was the crown prince of the Zhao Corporation, a figure whom the entire business world of Beijing respected. Such an arrogant person had bowed and called his wife eldest miss. Could Vivian have been telling the truth? Was she truly the precious daughter of the Zhao family? This thought flashed through his mind, sending a chill down Alex Ngu's spine. If it was true, then for the past 3 years, he had treated a golden leaf, jade branch heiress like an unpaid servant. He had even dared to call her poor, dared to insult her with money. Assistant Chen, he yelled. Assistant Chen rushed in, sweating profusely. Mr. Ngu, I'm here. How was the investigation? She. Who exactly is she? Alex Ngu's voice rose, carrying a faint glimmer of hope that it was all just an act. Assistant Chen swallowed hard, then tremblingly handed over a thin file. Mr. Ngu, I just rechecked internal information from Beijing. The Zhao family indeed has a sole daughter named Vivian Zhao, with the given name Vivian Jade. 3 years ago, she ran away from home to experience life after an argument with her family about an arranged marriage. The time she disappeared perfectly matches the time you met and married Mrs. Ngu. Thud, Alex Ngu punched the wall, his knuckles bleeding. The truth was laid bare before him, with no room for denial. He remembered the times his wife had smiled faintly when he boasted about his wealth, remembered her pitying gaze when he gave her the black card. It turned out, in her eyes, he was just a clown trying to show off to a master. Alex Ngu, Emily Lamb, seeing the situation was dire, timidly approached, intending to take his hand. No matter who she is, she shouldn't treat you like that. She deceived you for 3 years, she's the one who's wrong. Alex Ngu spun around, his eyes now filled with intense disgust for Emily Lamb. The cheap perfume on her made his stomach churn. Get out of my sight immediately. Emily Lamb was stunned. You're sending me away. I said get out, don't make me say it a 3rd time, Alex Ngu roared. From now on, never appear before me again. All the projects I assigned to your family, I'm taking them all back. Get out, Emily Lamb was so terrified her face lost all color. She quickly grabbed her bag and fled for her life, not daring to look back. Having driven away the green tea bitch, Alex Ngu quickly picked up his phone, his fingers trembling as he dialed my number. I was eating spicy Sichuan crawfish with Vivian Zhao at a luxurious restaurant when my phone rang. Seeing my ex-husband's name on the screen, I smirked, tossed the half-peeled crawfish back onto my plate, wiped my hands, and answered. "Hello, who is this? I'm not buying insurance, nor do I need a loan." There was a long silence on the other end, then Alex Ngu's hoarse voice came through, sounding utterly devastated. "Vivian, it's me." "Who are you?" "Sorry, my husband died. I'm preparing his funeral. You have the wrong number." "Vivian, stop joking." Alex Ngu took a deep breath, trying to lower his voice as much as possible. "I know you're angry about Emily Lamb. I've sent her away. I know I was wrong. I misunderstood you. Please come home. Can we talk properly?" I burst out laughing, my clear laughter echoing through the VIP room. "Alex Ngu, do you think you're the center of the universe? You send her away and I'm supposed to come running back with my tail wagging? Sorry, once the water is spilled, even if you try to scoop it back up, it's just mud. And please don't call me Vivian anymore, it gives me goosebumps. Call me Chairwoman Zhao or Miss Zhao." You really want to be so heartless." His voice began to tremble slightly. 3 years of marriage, do you have no feelings for me at all?" "Feelings?" I narrowed my eyes. "Of course. My feelings for you are as abundant as the money you gave me over the past 3 years. Oh, wait, I haven't spent a single penny of yours, so my feelings must be 0, right?" With that, I didn't wait for his reply, decisively hung up, then turned to Vivian Zhao. "Start." Vivian Zhao winked, obeying his eldest sister's command. 5 minutes later, a shocking piece of news exploded across all economic newspapers and social media. The Zhao Corporation officially announced the termination of all cooperation with the Ngu Corporation. The reason? CEO Ngu's character was questionable, rendering him unfit to be a strategic partner. This was accompanied by a bank announcement. All preferential loans to Ngu Corporation were frozen for risk assessment. I scrolled through my iPad, watching Ngu Corporation's stock chart plummet nonstop, secretly marveling. This is what capitalist power truly means. Alex Ngu, you thought you were an overbearing CEO who could summon wind and rain? In front of the Zhao family, you're just a small fry. Alex Ngu's phone rang again. This time, I didn't answer, dragging his number directly into the blacklist, but I knew the fun wasn't over yet. A moment later, I received a message from an unknown number. From the writing style, I immediately knew it was Emily Lamb. "Vivian, don't think you're so great just because you're an heiress. Alex Ngu loves me. He only sent me away to appease you. If you use money to pressure him, he'll hate you even more." I clucked my tongue. This girl was truly brain damaged beyond cure. Even at this point, she was still deluding herself. I screenshot her message and posted it directly on my newly verified personal Weibo account, Vivian Zhao, CEO of Zhao Corporation, with a concise caption, "Found in delusional green tea bitch. Whoever wants her can have her. Also, a quick announcement. I'm happily single and looking for a new husband. Requirements: clean, no brain damage, and most importantly, not surnamed Ngu." The post went live for 10 minutes and immediately soared to the top of the hot search. Netizens swarmed in to comment like bees to a hive. "OMG, the eldest Miss Zhao is back with a vengeance. Who is CEO Ngu that he's so foolish? He has such a perfect wife and couldn't keep her. Sister, I'm surnamed Chen, no brain damage, and I can cook. Am I good enough?" I laughed until my stomach hurt reading the comments. As I scrolled, I suddenly saw a pinned comment from a dazzling blue-tick account. Lucas Liu, chairman of the Liu Group. The content read, "Miss Zhao, my surname is Liu, my brain functions normally, I'm a clean freak, and my assets are enough to support you for 10 lifetimes. Please consider my application." I paused. Lucas Liu, Alex Ngu's sworn rival in the business world. Why was this sly old fox joining the fun? Vivian Zhao, sitting beside me, whistled. "Sister, Lucas Liu is openly flirting. This is a sweet deal. The Liu family is several times richer than the Ngu family. Alex Ngu must be spitting blood right now." Returning to the Zhao family mansion, my first feeling was that I was reborn. My grandfather, seeing me step out of the car, immediately rushed out with his cane, tears welling up, scolding and crying at the same time. "This foolish girl, what kind of experiencing life makes you so bony? Did that Ngu guy starve you?" He told the butler to immediately prepare a grand banquet to nourish his precious granddaughter. My mother tenderly caressed my arms and legs, muttering about wanting to burn down the Ngu family home. My father, the current chairman of the Zhao Corporation, was more contemplative. He only said one sentence, but it was enough to shake the Beijing business world. "My daughter has suffered. Don't worry, within 3 days, I'll make Ngu Corporation disappear from the economic map. Consider it a gift for your single status." I gnawed on a chicken drumstick, waving my hand. "Dad, calm down. Why use a butcher's knife to kill a chicken? Let it live a little longer, then die a little longer. It's more fun that way." That evening, Kevin Zhao insisted on taking me out to get rid of bad luck. The destination was the Night Feast, the city's most luxurious and private nightclub, where only diamond membership cards granted entry. As we stepped into the VIP room, the mellow jazz music and the scent of premium wine instantly chased away all my frustrations. I wore a strappy black dress with a high slit, revealing my long, slender legs. Tonight, I was no longer a messy-haired housewife. I was the queen of this party. "Vivian, over here," Kevin Zhao waved. I looked in the direction he pointed and immediately froze. Sitting at the center of the VIP table wasn't just Kevin Zhao, but another man. He wore a dark blue silk shirt, the top button casually undone, holding a glass of whiskey, his long, narrow phoenix eyes fixed on me, the corners of his lips curled into a half-smile full of mischief. I turned to glare at Kevin Zhao, my eyes blazing. This kid sold out his sister so fast. Lucas Liu stood up, his demeanor composed and elegant, pulling out a chair for me. "Miss Zhao, long time no see. You're as radiant as the first time I saw you 3 years ago." I sat down, unceremoniously taking the glass of wine he offered. "Mr. Liu, you're too kind. 3 years ago, I was busy being a high-class babysitter for the Ngu family. Radiant? What radiance?" Lucas Liu chuckled softly, his laughter deep and alluring. "A precious gem, even if it falls into mud, remains a gem. It's only a pity for those who are blind, holding gold yet letting it slip away." He leaned towards me as he spoke, the distance so close I could smell the cold cedarwood scent on him. Unlike Alex Ngu's sharp perfume last night, this scent made one feel safe and captivated. "Mr. Liu, you seem quite free today, aren't you? Not worried about acquiring Ngu Corporation's market share?" I raised an eyebrow, deliberately avoiding his intense gaze. "Acquiring Ngu Corporation is my subordinate's job. My task today is more important." Lucas Liu looked straight into my eyes, his voice firm. "I'm here to apply for the position of your new husband." I nearly choked on my wine. This man was frighteningly direct. "Mr. Liu, I just stepped out of the grave of marriage less than 24 hours ago. Aren't you afraid I might have psychological trauma?" "It's fine." Lucas Liu calmly poured me more wine. "I can wait. You can play around for as long as you want, I'll go with you. You want revenge on Alex Ngu? I'll hand him a knife. You want to burn down his house? I'll bring the gasoline." I stared at him, dumbfounded. In the business world, Lucas Liu was known as a smiling fox, ruthless in his tactics, stopping at nothing to achieve his goals. But at this moment, his eyes looking at me were surprisingly sincere. Bang, the door of the VIP room was suddenly kicked open. The music stopped abruptly, and all eyes turned towards the entrance. Alex Ngu stood there, panting, his shirt disheveled, tie askew, hair a mess. He no longer looked like an arrogant CEO, but rather a crazed, jealous husband who had just run 10 kilometers to catch his wife cheating. Behind him, bodyguards were scrambling to their feet. It seemed Mr. Ngu had used force to barge in. The moment he saw me sitting next to Lucas Liu, Alex Ngu's eyes turned blood red. He lunged forward, sweeping the bottles of wine off the table onto the floor. Crash, glass shards flew everywhere. Kevin Zhao quickly pulled me back, shielding me. "Lucas Liu, take your dirty hands off my wife," Alex Ngu roared, his voice hoarse with fury. Lucas Liu remained unfazed. He calmly brushed dust off his sleeve, then stood up to face Alex Ngu. The two men, one enraged and out of control, the other calm to the point of coldness, created a stark contrast. "Your wife," Lucas Liu sneered, his eyes as sharp as a scalpel. "Mr. Ngu, your memory is quite poor. This morning, Zhao Corporation's lawyer sent the divorce papers to your office. Legally, you two are in the process of separation. As for feelings, do you think you still have the right to call her your wife? Shut your mouth. My wife's business is none of your concern. Alex Ngu lunged to punch Lucas Liu, but Lucas Liu simply tilted his body to dodge, then casually tripped him, causing Alex Ngu to lose his balance and nearly fall face first into the broken glass. I stood behind Kevin Zhao, watching Alex Ngu's pathetic display, my heart completely unmoved. In the past, a mere frown from him would send me into a panic. But now, seeing him lose his mind with jealousy, I only found it laughable. Alex Ngu regained his footing. He ignored Lucas Liu, his painful gaze piercing through Kevin Zhao, fixed on me. Vivian, come back to me. I know I was wrong. I swear to you there was nothing between me and Emily Lamb. She tricked me, she drugged me. I never did anything wrong to you. Drugged? I scoffed, stepping out from behind Kevin Zhao. Alex Ngu, are you a CEO or a third-rate romance novel male lead? Drugged, yet you were clear-headed enough to text me threatening to cut off my card. Drugged, yet you made me apologize to her. Alex Ngu was speechless. Look at yourself, I said, pointing to the large mirror on the wall. Hair disheveled, speaking nonsense, acting wildly. The current you isn't even worthy of polishing Mr. Liu's shoes. What right do you have to demand I come back? He stared blankly at his reflection in the mirror, then at Lucas Liu, standing impeccably dressed and composed beside me. An unprecedented sense of inferiority and humiliation swelled within him. You despise me, Alex Ngu's voice trembled, sounding on the verge of tears. You despise me because of this man? Do you know how much I love you? For the past 3 years, I worked myself to death to give you the best life possible. Stop it, Alex Ngu. I cut him off, shouting, interrupting his dramatic performance. Love me? You love me, yet on our anniversary you went on a business trip with your secretary. You love me, yet for my birthday you gave me a vacuum cleaner. You love me, yet you allowed that green tea bitch Emily Lamb to step all over me. I took a deep breath, regained my composure, and then declared coldly, listen carefully. I, Vivian Zhao, can pick something up and I can also put it down. You are already in the past. Now, please get out of my sight. Don't make me call security to throw you out like a bag of trash. Alex Ngu stared blankly at me, his bloodshot eyes brimming with tears. He had never seen me so heartless. He wanted to approach and take my hand, but the warning gazes of Lucas Liu and Kevin Zhao made him falter. Just then, his phone rang incessantly. He answered, his hand trembling violently. On the other end, Assistant Chen's frantic scream rang out. Mr. Ngu, big trouble. The bank just sent a notice to seize assets. Shareholders are rioting at the company, demanding your dismissal. Please come back immediately. The phone slipped from Alex Ngu's hand. He looked at me, his eyes filled with utter despair. I crossed my arms and smiled. Congratulations, Mr. Ngu. My father's gift for your single status has arrived. Go save your CEO position. You've made enough of a spectacle here. Alex Ngu stumbled back a few steps, looked at me one last time with eyes full of regret and pain, then turned and fled like a pathetic loser. The VIP room returned to silence. Lucas Liu picked up a fresh glass of wine and offered it to me, the corners of his lips curled into a smug, fox-like smile. A wonderful play, Miss Zhao. To celebrate you clearing out the trash, shall we toast? I gently clinked my glass against his. Cheers, but Mr. Liu, don't get too smug just yet. Even if I've driven out one fox, I don't intend to bring another one home. Lucas Liu laughed heartily. It's fine. Foxes are very patient. I can wait for you to willingly fall into my net. When the party ended, I politely declined Lucas Liu's offer to drive me home. After all, having just separated that morning, jumping into another man's car and going home that same evening would be a bit too fast. I wasn't afraid of gossip, but I was afraid my father would have a heart attack from his daughter being too popular. As soon as I arrived at the entrance of the Zhao family mansion, I saw a shocking sight. Alex Ngu's familiar Rolls-Royce was parked directly in front of the main gate, blocking the entire entrance. Alex Ngu leaned against the car, looking as pathetic as he had at the nightclub. His shirt was wrinkled, his tie was gone, and he held an empty bottle of wine in his hand. Seeing my car approach, he staggered out and blocked its path. The driver slammed on the brakes with a screech, nearly sending Kevin Zhao and me headfirst into the front seat. "Damn it, does he want to die?" Kevin Zhao cursed, about to open the door and give him a piece of his mind. I held Kevin Zhao's arm. "Stay seated, record this, make sure it's clear." I stepped out of the car. The night wind rustled my dress, bringing a slight chill. Alex Ngu saw me, his hazy eyes suddenly lighting up. He lunged forward to embrace me, but I raised my handbag, blocking him. "Stop! Stand 3 meters away from me. Your alcoholic smell is polluting the fresh air of my home." Alex Ngu froze, his hands and feet fumbling, not knowing where to put them. He looked at me, his eyes red-rimmed, his voice hoarse and trembling. "Vivian, I've been waiting for you forever. I knew you'd come back. Can you please let me explain? The company matters, the Emily Lamb matter, I've handled everything." "Handled?" I smirked, crossing my arms. "How did you handle it? Fired Emily Lamb? Or sold off some unprofitable projects to offset your bank debts?" "I've banished Emily Lamb from Beijing," Alex Ngu quickly declared, like a guilty child trying to make amends. "I've had people reinvestigate. It turns out she drugged my wine that night. I swear to you, I wasn't clear-headed. I thought that person was you. I didn't do anything to her. I pushed her away immediately. That picture was deliberately staged by her to send to you." "Oh," I nodded, my face emotionless. "So what?" Alex Ngu was stunned. "So what? Vivian, I was wronged. I'm the victim. Why don't you believe me? Isn't 3 years of marriage enough for you to give me a chance to explain?" Alex Ngu listened carefully. I took a step forward, looking straight into his eyes, my gaze as sharp as a knife. "The problem isn't whether you slept with her or not. The problem is that you allowed her to have the opportunity to step into our lives, allowed her to humiliate me, and you yourself went along with her to trample on me. You say you were drugged? Fine, let's assume you were drugged. But when you threatened to cut off my card, was the drug affecting you? When you forced me to apologize to her, was the drug involved?" He stammered, unable to find an excuse. "You were just used to being arrogant, used to treating me as a decorative item in your house, to scold when you wanted, to appease when you wanted." I sneered. "Too bad, Mr. Ngu. This decorative item has learned to walk, and it's walking very far. You won't be able to reach it." Just then, the grand gates of the Zhao family slowly opened. A line of large, sleek German shepherds, impeccably trained, rushed out, lining up neatly behind me, baring their teeth and growling at Alex Ngu. The old butler stepped out, bowing respectfully. "Eldest miss, the master has asked you to come inside for bird's nest congee. The cold wind outside is not good for your skin. As for this stranger, the master says if he doesn't leave, we should release the dogs to escort him." Alex Ngu looked at the fierce dogs, then at my cold demeanor. Despair in his eyes reached its peak. He collapsed to his knees, yes, literally knelt down. The dignified CEO of Zhao Corporation, the second most arrogant man in Beijing, was now kneeling before his ex-wife's gate, witnessed by bodyguards and dogs. "Vivian, I beg you, I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. I'll transfer all my assets to your name, I'll resign, I'll do everything, just please don't divorce me, don't leave me." Tears streamed down his face onto the cold ground. If this scene had happened 3 days ago, I would probably have been heartbroken to death. But now I only saw it as a cheap, tragicomic play. I leaned down, whispered close to his ear, "You want me to forgive you? All right." I gestured. "Look up, what's that?" Alex Ngu quickly looked up, following my pointed finger. It was a giant LED billboard flashing an advertisement on the tallest building opposite, displaying bright red text. "Congratulations to Vivian Zhao on her return to single life. Gifted by Lucas Liu," it added, accompanied by an image of fireworks exploding in the sky. Alex Ngu's face went from pale to ashen, then to purple. He clenched his fists, his nails digging so deeply into his palms that they drew blood. "Lucas Liu," he gnashed his teeth, wishing he could tear the man apart. "See?" I stood up straight, dusting my hands as if I had touched something filthy. "People are lining up from here to Paris, waiting for my nod. Who do you think you are to ask me to come back? Don't make a fool of yourself anymore. Go sign the papers, keep some shred of dignity for yourself." With that, I turned and walked into the gate. Kevin Zhao, standing beside me, whistled, then raised his phone to record a close-up of Alex Ngu's tear-streaked, resentful face and conveniently tossed him a tissue. "Mr. Ngu, wipe your tears. What are men crying about? It's embarrassing for my dogs." The heavy iron gate slammed shut, separating two worlds. Inside the living room, I saw my parents and grandfather watching a live stream on an iPad. It turned out Vivian Zhao had live-streamed the entire scene. "Haha, good, very good," Grandpa laughed heartily, slapping his thigh. "My granddaughter truly has spirit. That's how it should be. Let that Ngu guy know his place." My mother, peeling an apple, clucked her tongue. "But that Lucas Liu is quite flashy, isn't he? Buying LED ads all over the city. Vivian, what do you think of him?" I sat down, took a piece of apple my mother offered, and shrugged. "He's all right. At least his brain has more wrinkles than Alex Ngu's." My father pondered for a moment, then said, "The Liu family and our Zhao family are well matched. Lucas Liu's tactics in the business world might be a bit ruthless, but his personal conduct isn't bad. If you like him, I won't object to you getting to know him, but remember to keep your eyes wide open this time when choosing. Don't bring another pile of trash home." My phone chimed. It was a message from Lucas Liu. "Miss Zhao, are you satisfied with my small gift? I hope it helps you have a good night's sleep, undisturbed by nightmares." I smiled and replied, "Mr. Liu, you're too extravagant, but thank you. Thanks to you, I got to watch a free show tonight." The other side replied immediately, as if he had been holding his phone, waiting. "It's my honor to please a beauty. Tomorrow, I have a meeting near Zhao Corporation. May I invite you to lunch tomorrow to discuss cooperation and also matters of the heart?" I looked at the screen, tapping my finger lightly on the table. Alex Ngu had just been dumped, and Lucas Liu was already on the offensive. This single life seemed much more interesting than I had imagined. "All right, tomorrow at 12 p.m., Revolving Restaurant, 88th floor. Mr. Liu, your treat?" After sending it, I tossed my phone aside, feeling incredibly relaxed. The next morning, I arrived at Zhao Corporation to take up my new position as vice president. As I entered the lobby, the staff lined up, bowing respectfully. The feeling of power in my hands was truly wonderful. While waiting for the elevator, a figure suddenly rushed towards me. Before security could react, the person had fallen to their knees at my feet, clinging tightly to my legs, crying miserably. "Vivian, please, I beg you, forgive me. I know I was wrong." I looked down. It was Emily Lam. She no longer had her usual innocent, pure look. Her hair was disheveled, clothes messy, and her haggard, unmade-up face clearly showed her weariness. "Vivian," Mr. Ngu fired me. He even blacklisted me from the entire entertainment industry. "Now I have nowhere to go. Please, I beg you, can you say a good word for me to Mr. Ngu? I swear I'll disappear forever." I frowned, trying to pull my leg away, but she held on too tightly. Employees around us began to gather, pointing and whispering. "Let go." My voice was icy. "I won't let go unless you forgive me," Emily Lam wailed, starting to throw a tantrum. "You're a high and mighty heiress. Why are you holding a grudge against an orphan like me? You have everything. Why do you still want to push me into a corner?" "Who said they're pushing you into a corner?" A deep male voice resonated from behind. The crowd automatically parted. Lucas Liu, in a meticulously tailored charcoal gray suit, walked forward, his imposing presence seemingly thinning the air around him. He came to my side, looking at Emily Lam as if she were an ant. He motioned to his bodyguards, and two men immediately stepped forward, dragging Emily Lam away like a sack of potatoes. Mr. Liu," Emily Lam stammered in fear. Lucas Liu didn't even glance at her, turning to me with concern. "Are you all right? Did she dirty your shoes?" I shook my head. "I'm fine. Why are you here so early?" "Early to watch a good show." Lucas Liu smiled faintly, then turned back to look at Emily Lam, who was being held tightly on the ground. "Young lady, you're mistaken. The person pushing you into a corner isn't Miss Zhao, but your own ignorance and greed. Alex Ngu blacklisting you is his business, but you daring to come here and offend Miss Zhao is my business." He pulled out a handkerchief and gently wiped my shoe where Emily Lam had touched it, then tossed the expensive handkerchief into the trash. "Take her away. Make sure that from now on, no one in Beijing ever hears the name Emily Lam again." Emily Lam was dragged away amidst desperate wails. I looked at Lucas Liu, an indescribable feeling rising within me. This man acted even more ruthlessly and decisively than I did. "What's wrong? Are you afraid of me?" Lucas Liu chuckled, seeing me staring at him. "No," I smiled, adjusting his collar. "I just feel that Mr. Liu is very professional at clearing out trash. I like it very much." Lucas Liu's eyes darkened. He took my hand, leaned down, and whispered, "It's good that you like it. So, at lunch today, can we discuss more about moving in together?" Lunch at the revolving restaurant on the 88th floor unfolded in a very strange atmosphere. Lucas Liu had reserved the entire floor. Around us, there was only the melodious sound of a violin and the gentle clinking of cutlery. The table was laden with delicacies: French foie gras, caviar, A5 Wagyu beef. But what caught my attention wasn't the food, but the man sitting opposite me. Lucas Liu was peeling shrimp for me. His slender hands, with clearly defined knuckles, hands that should only hold pens to sign billion-dollar contracts or gently swirl wine glasses, were now meticulously peeling each crawfish, removing the black vein, then gently placing it on my plate. His movements were so skilled and elegant that I almost thought he was performing some artistic surgery. "Mr. Liu, you don't have to do this. I can eat by myself." I looked at the bowl full of shrimp, feeling a little embarrassed. Lucas Liu didn't look up, continuing to peel the next one. "Just eat. An heiress's hands are for counting money and commanding empires, not for getting fishy smells on them." That comment sounded quite pleasing to my ears. Compared to Alex Ngu, who had never even picked up a vegetable for me, Lucas Liu was truly on a different level. Bang, the VIP elevator door suddenly opened, and a shrill female voice cut through the romantic atmosphere. "Vivian Zhao, get out here, you loose, ill-mannered woman." I frowned, setting down my wine glass. Even if that voice turned into ashes, I would recognize it as Alex Ngu's mother, Mrs. Li. She stormed in, adorned from head to toe in Gucci designer wear, but the color coordination was garish, like a walking Christmas tree. Following her was Alex Ngu, his face panicked, hands and feet fumbling as he tried to hold his mother back. "Mom, please don't cause trouble, let's go home." Alex Ngu's voice was hoarse with pleading. Go home for what?" Mrs. Li shoved her son's hand away and fiercely marched towards my dining table. She pointed a finger straight at my face, spitting saliva. "Well done, you just argued with your husband, not even divorced yet, and you dare to openly dine with a strange man. What do you think our Ngu family is? Do you think I won't expose your true colors to the media so you won't have any face left to live in Beijing?" I calmly leaned back in my chair, wiped my mouth with a napkin, not even bothering to look at her. "Mrs. Ngu, what news do you want to spread? News that your ex-daughter-in-law is having dinner with a business partner." "Business partner, my foot?" Mrs. Li shrieked. "Look at yourself. A country girl with no profession, leeching off my son for 3 years, and now you're putting on airs as a young lady? I'm telling you, my Alex is decent enough not to hold grudges against you, but I'm not so kind. Hurry up and kneel to apologize to him, then follow him home. Otherwise, I'll take back all the jewelry and clothes I've bestowed upon you." I burst out laughing. Bestowed? Those cheap gold bracelets she gave me on holidays? I hadn't even bothered to wear them once for fear of allergic reactions. "Mom, shut up," Alex Ngu yelled, his face drained of all color. He looked at me fearfully, then at Lucas Liu, who sat silently with a cold smile. "Mom, do you know who she is? Don't say another word." "Who is she? She's some Zhao girl, an orphan with no father or mother. Who else?" Mrs. Li still hadn't grasped the situation, continuing to scream. "What are you afraid of, son? Today I'm going to teach her a lesson." She swung her hand, intending to slap me, but her hand was powerfully gripped in midair by Lucas Liu's hand, like a vice. Lucas Liu stood up. His 1.88-meter height cast a shadow over Mrs. Li, creating an invisible pressure that made her tremble. He sharply shoved her hand away, causing her to stumble back several steps, nearly falling into Alex Ngu. "Mrs. Ngu," Lucas Liu's voice was low, but carried a bone-chilling intent. "You should get your eyes checked, or your brain. The person sitting in front of you is Vivian Zhao, the sole heiress of the Zhao Corporation, the beloved granddaughter of old Master Zhao, and my future wife. Who are you calling a parasite?" Mrs. Li was stunned, her eyes wide as marbles. She looked at me, then at Alex Ngu, who hung his head in helplessness. What? Zhao Corporation, the #1 corporation in Beijing. Precisely, I smiled, a radiant smile that didn't quite reach my eyes. Mrs. Ngu, for the past 3 years, I lived in the Ngu household, ate humble rice, wore discounted clothes, and patiently endured your insults, all because I respected Alex Ngu. But now he and I are going our separate ways. Do you think you still have the right to stand here and point fingers at me? I took out my phone, put it on speaker, and called my father's assistant directly. Hello, Uncle Wang. I'm having dinner and being harassed by a woman named Mrs. Li. She's also threatening to spread defamatory rumors about me. Please see how you can handle this quickly. On the other end, a stern voice resonated. Eldest miss, don't worry. Within 10 minutes, the corporation's lawyers will send a warning letter, and simultaneously, we will cut off all raw material supply to Mrs. Li's fashion store chain. What? Mrs. Li shrieked in horror. Her fashion store chain was her main source of income and her pride. If the supply was cut off, she would be forced into bankruptcy. No, daughter-in-law. No, Miss Zhao, doctor, I was wrong. Mrs. Li's attitude changed as quickly as flipping a pancake. She lunged forward, trying to grab my hand, but Lucas Liu blocked her. She fell to her knees, tears and snot streaming down her face. I'm old and senile, I was blind. Please don't hold it against me. I know you're a good person. You and Alex Ngu have such deep feelings. Please forgive me this once. I looked at the pathetic scene before me, feeling only nausea. For 3 years, this woman had used countless venomous words to humiliate me, calling me poor and unworthy of her son. Now, knowing I had money and power, she was on her knees begging. Human nature can sometimes be so cheap. Alex Ngu, I looked at Alex Ngu, who stood frozen like a wooden statue. Take your mother home. Don't let her cause any more trouble here. It's too embarrassing. After all, you were once a CEO. Maintain some last bit of dignity for your family name. Alex Ngu looked up at me, his bloodshot eyes filled with pain and regret. He stepped forward and pulled his mother up. Mom, let's go home. Don't make a fool of ourselves anymore. Done, really? Done with what? Beg her, she's your wife. Mrs. Li still struggled. Enough, Alex Ngu roared, tears streaming down his cheeks. She's not my wife anymore. She's the eldest Miss Zhao, do you understand, Mom? We're not worthy of her. The words, not worthy, came out of Alex Ngu's mouth with such bitterness. He finally admitted this truth. The mother and son staggered out of the restaurant, their figures isolated and desolate. I watched them, feeling no sense of schadenfreude, only relief. A burden that had weighed on me for 3 years was finally lifted. What's wrong? Soft-hearted. Lucas Liu offered me a glass of warm water. I shook my head, taking a sip of water. I just feel that life is truly impermanent. Yesterday we were family, today we're sworn enemies. That's the rule of the game. Lucas Liu took a sip of wine, his eyes sharpening. Being merciful to your enemy is being cruel to yourself. Oh, by the way, I have some good news for you. He took a thin file from his jacket pocket and pushed it towards me. What is this? I opened it. It was a share transfer agreement. This morning, while Alex Ngu was busy crying and begging you, I acquired 60% of Ngu Corporation's shares from the small shareholders who were panicking and selling off. Now, legally, I am the new chairman of Ngu Corporation. My eyes widened at him. Alex Ngu had just lost his wife, and now he had lost his company to his rival. What are you going to do with Ngu Corporation? Lucas Liu smiled, a fox-like grin full of calculation yet incredibly charming. Consider it a wedding gift. You want to dissolve it, sell it, or rename it Vivian Zhao's happy company, it's entirely up to you. I looked at the file, then at Lucas Liu. My heart suddenly skipped a beat, not because of the enormous assets, but because of the way he cherished and protected me. He used practical actions to prove that whoever dared to touch me, he would make sure they had no way out. Mr. Liu, you're playing such a big game, I'm afraid I can't repay you. No need to repay with money. Lucas Liu leaned closer to me, his voice deep and magnetic. Repay with yourself. Miss Zhao, would you like to try signing a lifetime contract with the new chairman of Ngu Corporation? I blushed, quickly turning away, pretending to focus on eating shrimp. Let's see your performance first. The shrimp isn't enough, I want crab too. Yes, ma'am. Lucas Liu smiled brightly, immediately getting to work on peeling crabs. The next day, the news of Ngu Corporation changing ownership officially shook the entire Beijing business world. After plummeting nonstop for a day, Ngu Corporation's stocks suddenly soared again, thanks to the news of the Liu Group's capital injection and the eldest Miss Zhao taking over. I chose a wine-red suit that highlighted my fair skin and dominant aura and stepped into the Ngu Corporation headquarters building. Beside me was Lucas Liu, impeccably dressed in a black suit, his hand still firmly holding mine, as if afraid I would get lost in what was now practically our backyard company. As we passed through the revolving door, 2 rows of employees lined up from the lobby to the elevator, bowing deeply. "Welcome, Chairwoman Zhao. Welcome, Mr. Liu." I glanced at the familiar faces. There was the receptionist who once stopped me, demanding I register before I could go up to bring lunch to my husband. There were the secretaries who used to gather and gossip behind my back, calling me a rustic old woman unworthy of their CEO. Now, every face was pale, sweat pouring down like rain, not daring to breathe loudly. Chairwoman Zhao." The receptionist trembled, stepping forward, offering the VIP elevator card with both hands. Please go up to the top floor." I didn't take the card, just smiled faintly. "What was your name again? Lily, right? I remember last time I came, you said the VIP elevator was broken and made me take the stairs to the 30th floor. Why is it working so well today?" Lily's legs turned to jelly upon hearing this, and she collapsed to the floor. "Chairwoman, please spare me. At that time, it was Emily Lamb's order. I dared not disobey." "All right." I waved my hand, not wanting to waste time with these pawns. "Go to HR, get your salary, and resign. My Ngu Corporation doesn't employ people who judge by appearances." I stepped into the private elevator. The doors closed, shutting out the wailing and sobbing outside. Lucas Liu, standing beside me, tilted his head and smiled. "My wife is truly imposing. You just took office and already fired someone. Aren't you afraid of getting a bad reputation?" I adjusted his collar, raising an eyebrow. "Being harsh to evil people is being kind to oneself. Did you teach me that and forget?" Lucas Liu chuckled, leaning down to lightly kiss my forehead. "Excellent student, I'll reward you later." The elevator doors opened on the top floor, the CEO's office, once Alex Ngu's impenetrable domain. Now the door was wide open, and inside Alex Ngu was packing his belongings. He wore a simple white shirt, no tie, sleeves rolled up, looking visibly thinner after just a few days. Hearing footsteps, he turned. The moment he saw Lucas Liu and me walking in hand, his eyes darkened, a painful look as if someone had gouged out his heart. "Vivian," he called my name, his voice hoarse. Lucas Liu immediately stepped forward, shielding me, his voice cold. "Mr. Ngu, please show some respect. Call her Chairwoman Zhao." Alex Ngu gave a bitter, twisted, desolate smile. He placed our framed photo, the only item he was taking, into a cardboard box. "All right, Chairwoman Zhao, congratulations." I walked past Lucas Liu towards the desk. The Italian leather chair, the priceless red sandalwood desk, everything was still there, but the owner had changed. I lightly ran my hand over the dusty tabletop. "Alex, are you done packing?" I asked, my tone calm. "Almost done." Alex Ngu lowered his head, not daring to look me in the eyes. He only took a few personal items. The confidential files, the company seal, the safe keys, he left everything on the desk. "The safe password is your birthday." I paused for a moment. My birthday? I had thought the password would be the company's founding date or his mother's birthday. "Don't put on that belated affectionate act anymore," I said coldly. "The password, I'll have someone change it immediately. Is there anything else you want to say?" Alex Ngu hesitated for a moment, then took a deep breath, looking at me with pleading eyes. "Can I speak to you alone for a few minutes? Just a few minutes, I promise I won't bother you again." Lucas Liu was about to refuse on my behalf, but I raised my hand to stop him. I nodded to Lucas Liu. "You wait outside for a moment." 5 minutes only. Lucas Liu narrowed his eyes at Alex Ngu, a clear warning. 5 minutes, 1 second over, and I'll come in and drag him out. The office door closed, leaving only Alex Ngu and me in the spacious room. He looked at me greedily, as if wanting to imprint my image in his mind one last time. Vivian, I know anything I say now is useless, but I swear to you, my feelings for you for the past 3 years were real. I was distant towards you because I was insecure. I was afraid you'd look down on my background, afraid you'd think I wasn't good enough. Insecure? I cut him off, unable to help but laugh mockingly. Alex Ngu, are you telling a joke? A CEO who commands respect everywhere he goes, yet he's insecure in front of a housewife who stays home and cooks. If you're going to lie, at least write a more logical script. It's true, Alex Ngu stepped forward, agitated. You're too perfect. Even though you never revealed your identity, your aura, the way you carried yourself, always made me feel inferior. I deliberately acted cold, deliberately created distance to preserve my cheap male ego. You were so foolish. Yes, I was very foolish, I confirmed. But the reasons you're giving cannot excuse the hurt you inflicted upon me. Your indifference, your mother's insults, Emily Lamb's condescension, all of it killed my love. Now, standing before you, I no longer hate you, nor do I love you. I just see you as a stranger who once briefly crossed my life. Alex Ngu collapsed as if his entire being had crumbled. He stumbled back, leaning against the edge of the desk, tears silently falling. My words, no longer hate, no longer love, were more cruel than 1,000 curses. They meant that in my heart, he no longer held any weight at all. I understand now. Alex Ngu wiped his tears, then picked up the cardboard box. Thank you for letting me know the truth. Vivian, no, Chairwoman Zhao, please take care. I wish you happiness. He turned and walked away, his figure lonely and bowed. Wait, I called out, stopping him. Alex Ngu spun around, a flicker of hope in his eyes. That tie you're wearing, I pointed to his collar, is a gift I bought you for our 2nd wedding anniversary, with my own money. Take it off and give it back to me. I don't want something I bought with my sweat and tears to stay with someone who doesn't appreciate it. The flicker of hope in Alex Ngu's eyes died, replaced by extreme humiliation. He tremblingly raised his hand to his neck, untied the dark blue silk tie, and gently placed it on the desk. I'm sorry, he said, then ran out of the room as if fleeing from hell. The door had just closed when it immediately opened again. Lucas Liu stepped in, holding a cup of full-topping black sugar pearl milk tea, a common drink that I absolutely loved. But Alex Ngu had always forbidden me from drinking it, considering it not elegant enough. All settled? Lucas Liu inserted a straw and held the cup to my mouth. Have some sweets to cool down. Look at your face, it's as wrinkled as a monkey eating chilies. I took a sip of the cold milk tea, the sweetness spreading and easing the tension in my heart. I picked up Alex Ngu's tie and tossed it straight into the trash can under the desk. Done. From now on, my life is free of enemies. Lucas Liu walked around behind the CEO's chair, leaned down and hugged me, resting his chin on my shoulder, inhaling the scent of my hair. So, now shall we discuss business, Chairwoman Zhao? What business? I asked, chewing on a pearl. The new chairwoman has just taken office and work is piling up. Do you need to hire a special assistant? Requirements: salary not high, just room and board and sleep included. Lucas Liu whispered into my ear, his hot breath making me shiver. I turned to face his phoenix eyes, full of affection, pretending to ponder. What are your qualifications? Can you cook, do laundry, give back massages, peel shrimp? Proficient in all skills. Lucas Liu grinned slyly, his hand beginning to misbehave, sliding around my waist. Especially bedroom skills, guaranteed 5-star quality. Approved, I giggled, wrapping my arms around his neck. But just as the atmosphere grew ambiguous, the door to the room was suddenly pushed open with a ****. Kevin Zhao rushed in, phone in hand. Sister, brother-in-law, Mr. Liu, hot news here. Lucas Liu's face darkened. He released me, grinding his teeth at his beloved brother-in-law. Kevin Zhao, don't you know how to knock? Your salary for this month is. Wait, this is more important than salary? Kevin Zhao held up his phone screen in front of us. Alex Ngu was just arrested by economic police right after leaving the company. The reason: tax evasion and commercial fraud in some old projects. Someone anonymously submitted evidence to the police department. Lucas Liu and I exchanged glances. I was surprised. I didn't do anything, though. Dad also said he would let him off the hook. Lucas Liu shrugged, his face innocent, but his eyes betrayed everything. I don't know either. Perhaps it's divine retribution for his bad karma, or maybe some kind citizen named Lucas Liu with too much free time submitted the file. I looked at his fox-like smile and inwardly lit a stick of incense for Alex Ngu. Who did he choose to offend? Offending this smiling fox, Lucas Liu, truly meant this life was over for him. "Let's go," Lucas Liu said, pulling my hand as he stood up. "Leave this place to Kevin Zhao. We're going to register our marriage." Huh, so fast? My eyes widened. How can it be fast? Lucas Liu tightened his grip on my hand, our fingers intertwined. I've waited 3 years. I can't wait another second. This time, I'll spend my entire life proving to you that when choosing a husband, you must choose a Liu, not a Ngu. I looked at his handsome profile, feeling the warmth from his hand, and suddenly my heart felt strangely peaceful. Okay, let's go register. The Civil Affairs Bureau was deserted that day, perhaps because Lucas Liu had used some special privilege to reserve the entire area. He held my hand as we walked in, his face beaming like a child given candy, completely contrary to his usual serious, calculating expression in the business world. The marriage registration process was so swift that I didn't even have time to feel nervous. It only took 10 minutes to take photos, sign, stamp, and hold 2 bright red marriage certificates in my hands. I was still a little bewildered. "It's done," I asked the man beside me disbelievingly. "It's done." Lucas Liu carefully tucked the 2 certificates into his inner jacket pocket, right next to his chest. "From this moment on, you are the legal Mrs. Liu. No returns, no complaints allowed." I chuckled, gently pinching his arm. "Mr. Liu, are you afraid I'll run away?" Lucas Liu took my hand and kissed my ring finger, where a 10-carat diamond ring sparkled brightly. "Of course I'm afraid. Such an outstanding wife, I have to guard you 24/7 to feel at ease. Let's go home for our wedding night." As our car rolled away from the Civil Affairs Bureau, a police car with blaring sirens sped past in the opposite lane. Through the car window, I briefly saw Alex Ngu sitting in the backseat, his hands cuffed, head bowed, his face ashen and despairing. That was the last time I saw him as a free man. 3 months later, the wedding of the century between the Zhao and Liu families was held on a private island. Media reported enthusiastically for a week, calling it the most luxurious wedding in history. My father and grandfather couldn't stop smiling, boasting about their precious son-in-law wherever they went. That day, I wore a custom-designed wedding gown, walking down a long aisle adorned with white roses. At the end of the aisle, Lucas Liu stood, his eyes gazing at me with deep affection, as if I were his entire world. In the moment of exchanging rings, he whispered in my ear, "Thank you for coming. Thank you for giving me the chance to openly love you." I smiled, tears of happiness welling up. It turned out this was what it felt like to be loved correctly. No anxiety, no need to pretend, just being myself and being cherished like a treasure. After the wedding, we returned to Beijing. One afternoon, Alex Ngu's lawyer contacted me, saying he wanted to see me one last time before being transferred to prison to serve his 10-year sentence. Lucas Liu initially disagreed, but I persuaded him. I wanted to go, not out of lingering attachment, but to truly put an end to the past. In the visitation room, Alex Ngu sat behind thick glass, gaunt, his head shaved, his eyes dark and lifeless. Seeing Lucas Liu and me walk in hand, his mouth twitched, forming a bitter smile. "You came?" His voice was hoarse through the speaker. "I thought you wouldn't." I sat down, looking at him calmly. "You wanted to see me about something." "I just wanted to ask." Alex Ngu stared intensely at me, his eyes full of obsession. If that day I hadn't listened to my mother, hadn't gotten involved with Emily Lamb, hadn't treated you badly, would you have loved me? Would we have had a different outcome?" I was silent for a moment, then shook my head. "There are no what-ifs, Alex Ngu. Your nature is selfish and weak. You love yourself more than anyone. Even if there hadn't been an Emily Lamb, there would have been a Jenny or a Jane. We were simply people from 2 different worlds." "2 different worlds?" Alex Ngu mumbled, tears streaming down his face. Yes, you're right, I wasn't worthy. I lost the most precious gem in my life because I was blind. He turned to look at Lucas Liu, his eyes burning with envy but also resignation. Lucas Liu, you won. You planned everything from the beginning, didn't you? That economic trap, that tax evasion evidence, it was all set up by you. Lucas Liu smirked, a cold, ruthless smile. I merely helped the law enforce justice. And my victory isn't because of my calculations, but because I cherish her more than you do. You had her for 3 years and treated her like dirt. I waited for her for 3 years, just hoping to see her smile once. That's the difference. Alex Ngu buried his head in the table and sobbed like a child. He had lost, utterly and completely. We left the detention center as dusk settled. The red sunset dyed the sky. Sitting in the car, Lucas Liu was unusually quiet. I gently poked his arm. What's wrong? Jealous of a prisoner. He turned to look at me, his eyes deep. I was thinking that for 3 years, you must have suffered a lot by his side. I hate myself for not coming to steal you away sooner. I leaned my head on his shoulder, smiling. It's okay. That past helped me realize who truly loves me. If not for those 3 years, perhaps I wouldn't appreciate our current happiness as much as I do now. Lucas Liu wrapped his arms tightly around me, kissing my hair. Wife, I love you. I love you too. That night at the Liu family villa, I stepped out of the bath in a sheer silk nightgown. Lucas Liu was sitting on the bed reading, but seeing me, he put down his book, his eyes burning as if to consume me. Come here, he patted the empty spot beside him. I obediently climbed onto the bed and snuggled into his arms. Lucas Liu turned off the bedside lamp, leaving only the soft moonlight filtering through the curtains. Wife, we still have one important thing to do. His voice was hoarse and suggestive. What thing? I pretended to be innocent. To create an heir for our 2 corporations. Lucas Liu grinned mischievously, then turned and gently pressed me beneath him. Both grandfathers and parents are eagerly awaiting grandchildren. Tonight, don't even think about escaping. Lucas Liu, gently, I have a meeting tomorrow. Is a meeting still important? Tomorrow, I'll give you indefinite leave. Giggles, whispers, and the sweet sounds of love filled the room.